Another series that I've got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping it survives. I don't know if it will. I will say the same. One thing I said about Guardian of the Witch that I'm going to say the same thing about Bone Collection is the covers alone make me want the series to survive. I like the series. I think it's good. The only downside I'd say is like sometimes the art looks a little funky, but I feel like that's just because the mangaka is probably newer. Because there's like parts where it looks really good, like where the art looks really clean. And then there's parts where it looks a little silly, but again, I feel like that's probably just like the artist, probably not being as used to the whole weekly style that so many others have gotten so used to. Like when you have all these other big dick mangaka that can just pull that out a chapter in like a couple days. Mishima's craziness, but as it were. I am excited for this chapter. I think this is going to be really cool because this is the first like big villain that this series has, and I think this arc, if it does well, could keep it surviving. I do legitimately hope that, and I do think that it has the possibility of keeping this series alive and keeping it from getting axed. But we will see. As it were, like you have all of these bad guys, like kind of like holding out for the main bad one. And they're like, okay, he's apparently got to pull the tail out of this girl that he's kidnapped. And from that, I'm wondering, like, what's pulling the tail gonna really do? Like, is it part of like how he gets power? Like, is he going to like absorb this girl's tail and grow from like I didn't count, but I assume nine tails because I think they said the QB, and obviously that means nine. I was like, yeah, 9 tails, literally by the name. Either way. Regardless of how that really goes, I am interested to see like what exactly like he brings to the table as like the first real boss that they fight, like big enemy. And like they have all these like his minions, like the ones that he freed, holding up the barrier. They're all scattered around, and I do like the designs of them, even though like the first one, the screaming one that like did like sound stuff on Abe. I knew for a fact that one was going to go down. Like she is very powerful, clearly, and like this thing is not only like not the main bad guy, but it's only A ranked, and she's like one of the top exorcists, so she's going to completely demolish one of these. I mean, no problem. And while they're kind of like doing it and kind of like going about these enemies, like some of them, it's like some of them are going to be pretty vicious. Like they had this weird flying head one with arms coming to its mouth that had like these robotic monkeys. Like these monkey minions that were just completely slaughtering people. If it wasn't for the fact that this dude was out killing people, it probably could have figured out a way to spare him and have like, a good moment of survival after that, and maybe like kind of like live as like a comedic side character or something. You had your chance. Fortunately, you killed people, so not really that salvageable. We'll see. Not really. We'll see. Like this guy gets murked, but like you have one of the two girls that I don't remember their names at the moment. What was it? They said the name of one of them at one point. Like the dude kidnapped, was it Runa? I mean, they're not very big right now. Maybe if the series continues on, I'll be able to, get these characters around enough that I'll be able to remember them. It's the unfortunateness of like early characters, obviously, and especially when a series isn't doing the best. I'm hoping that Volume 1 will sell all right enough that they'll keep it around. I still think that Shonen Jump needs to, like, any series that just doesn't do great, they should keep it digital. Just don't have physical copies until like they see, oh well, it's doing, it's gotten more popular, because I don't think they give series long enough to really kind of work with like the time, like 18, like somewhere between like 15 to 18 chapters is not that much to kind of like pump out a story. Like I get the idea of like, when it was the physical magazine, it's like, yeah, they can only have so much space, but digitally, they can have so many series running digitally and be perfectly fine, because it's not going to take up space that another series is going to have if it's on a website where, you're having 16 like to 18 pages per thing. It's only going to be like a I don't know what exactly that is in data off the top of my head, but it's small, very small amount of data. But while she's fighting, she's like the girl's like casting, like, she's using exorcism spells, like using lightning abilities, and unfortunately she doesn't have the yokai spell, so these guys are starting to overwhelm her. Here comes in Kazami and Pyra, just completely mauling through them. And this chapter was more of like explaining how exactly they're able to kind of like do this, like how exactly is Pyra fighting here, because one thing Pyra was doing beforehand is she was essentially using her power to like buff up Kazami, but because Kazami is getting so much, he's able to kind of like redirect it somewhat into her as well as, you know, he can pretty much just, you know, cycle that energy that he's drawing out of her, and that is boosted through their synchronization with the yokai spell, so they're both able to fight and get strong. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like if, like, they're just doing like melee fighting, so I'm wondering if they're going to get like any, like, are they going to get like matching weapons? Are they going to have each their own styles? Because they could each get like a bone weapon and then kind of like bring what they can to the table. Because there's been various weapons. I'm hoping that the kind of like spear is the main one of like style that Kazami could use. Because the katana looks pretty cool. I do think the katana from the one shot looks more badass, but that's probably what it would upgrade into eventually. But I am hoping that they each have their own kind of like setup style that you know, that they kind of like bring to the table, like I said, of different bone weapons as their primary, using different ones, but like what ones are they going to really kind of be like, oh, this is my main. But to the point, like, they kind of like run through these guys. I like that Pyre brings up her triple S class rank. I'm hoping that we kind of like have some acknowledgement from the, you know, from this dude, from this nine-tailed fox guy, in order to be like, oh yeah, you know, the, you know, yada yada yada, whatever lore stuff with your, you know, your high rank and whatnot. Just because I think it would be really cool to see, because like we know that she's a big deal. We haven't really seen much of interaction from other yokai to really kind of be like, just in general, her high position, because clearly she's the highest known rank, unless there's like an X class or something, like a star or something above triple S, that she's the highest rank. We don't know exactly if that's just because of her species, like her family, or if it's her specifically in origin. We know that she was very powerful though, like people wanted to fight her all the time, so maybe she is that. It's just like, as they said, like in the current like half human state, she's weaker. I don't know. I'm really curious to know what that's going to be like. And what a surprise, like some of the, you know, the yokai got fodderized by you know, two of the you know, the exorcist kings. I do really want to see the samurai guy. I like that he's got like on his swords, he's got like the, I don't know if those are like bells or what those are supposed to be. Like I don't know, I'm sure if I knew more about like the Japanese, I'd be able to say. But like it's certain like cultural things, but you know, deeper into like their origins and whatnot. But it does look really cool. I like it when you have like some like extra unique addition to like to weapons, like katanas, because katanas are so, just as a quick thing as a rabbit, katanas are so overused that unless there's some like really cool unique design aspect of it to it, I don't know, I've never been a huge fan of just like plain katanas anymore. Whereas like if you had something like this, like these cool kind of like ornaments like tied to the bottom, I think that's a really cool addition that they've added. And then you have something like that, or like Yami's katana and Black Clover has the Black Bulls like logo like built into the cross guard and stuff. I think that's cool. So I'm hoping to see more of that. I wasn't surprised that they completely trashed these guys. Obviously, they're a big deal. So we'll see what happens next chapter. I do really want to see this sword dude. I want to see just like a couple like if the series doesn't do well, which again I'm hoping it does, I want to see what this guy can do before it ends. But again, fingers crossed. I saw, what is it, like it's ranked like second to last right now, which sucks. But I'm hoping it's gonna pick up. And the fact it's not last means something else will get like acts before that Time Paradox Ghost Rider thing. Unfortunate, because I heard that was good and the art looks really good, but I don't know. We'll see. Either way, comment below, thumbs to the video from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.